Go ahead and start the planning commission meeting. Call it to order. First item is the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mr. Earhart. Here. Mr. Mitchell.
Here.
Mr. Aravalo. Here. Mrs. Dominic. Mr. Sly.
Here.
Ms. Squire. Here. Chairman, we have a quorum.
Very good. Thank you very much. Any changes to the agenda this evening?
No.
Entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the agenda. Start the voting on the left.
Aye.
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 Motion carries 5-0-0. Citizen participation. Do we have anybody signed up?
Nobody was signed up.
No signed up for, all right. Moving on to formal commission action, approval of minutes from the November 2nd meeting.
Move to approve the minutes for November 2nd.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the November 2nd agenda meeting. I think I had one question on there. Item 3, the rezoning application on that. It has Mr. Long instead of Miss Long.
Nice catch.
Thank you.
So I would ask that we amend that to change
Good
that.
catch.
Yes, thank you.
Great catch.
Otherwise, any other changes to the? All right, start the voting on the left.
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0-1. And approval of minutes for the December 7th meeting.
Hey, should be a change on there, Mr. Chairman. I saw that Mary Dobson wasn't listed there as absent. She's still on the commission, right? Oh, okay.
She's not.
Okay. I missed November.
Yeah, she moved to different zone, so she was not able to continue on in that
Oh,
position.
okay, okay.
So, but thank you for
Yep,
catching that.
very good.
I move to approve the December 7th minutes.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded twice to
Abstain.
approve the December 7th meeting minutes. Start the voting on the left.
Abstain.
Aye.
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 Motion carries 4-0-1. All right, moving on to item number 3. Which is the subdivision monument entrance for Woodland Ridge. Ms. Long?
Good evening. Chris George Holmes has submitted an amended preliminary plat, their approved preliminary plat, for the subdivision, Woodland Ridge, for their monument sign, entrance sign. The proposed sign detailed above would be located on the southwest and southeast corner of 207th Street and Emerald on a tract of land that would be maintained by the homeowners association. The sign structure would be located on private property approximately 50 feet from the south edge of the existing roadway. It would not interfere with future roadway expansions. The right-of-way on 207th Street in this area is 75 feet in width, with ample future road projects. During the final plat process, the required 10-foot utility easement around the platted area was identified on the plat. The proposed entrance sign would be located within this easement area. However, there are no utilities designed to be installed within the utility easement where the sign is proposed to be located. The structure is concrete block. Lettering identifying the subdivision name. The structure varies in height. The maximum height is 6 foot and built in an arc or curved style with an overall length of approximately 19 foot. Variety of landscaping is shown as part of the sign structure. Staff recommends approval of the subdivision entrance sign for Woodland Ridge.
Any discussion?
Hi.
Hi.
I live in Woodland Ridge. I don't have a problem with the sign. I just think it doesn't match the other sign. So, the one that's been at the neighborhood for 20 years, it just doesn't match it. But whatever. It doesn't look bad. It just doesn't look like it's a continuation of Woodland Ridge. Does that make sense?
Was probably their intent.
Did, Amy, did you say if the sign was illuminated?
It is not.
Okay. I have no further questions.
I thought I read somewhere that it was the headlights behind the light. The lettering or something.
Yeah, we think we read something that it said it is.
Is it illuminated? Did I miss
Backlit lettering. Last sentence on whatever page it is. Second last page, last paragraph. Structures, concrete block, construction, stone veneer.
Oh, with backlit lettering, yes, my bad.
I knew I read someplace.
I'm glad you know it.
Any questions, any discussion? Entertain a motion?
I move to approve the Woodland Ridge subdivision entrance sign as presented by staff.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the sign. Start the voting on the left.
Aye.
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 Motion carries 6-0-0. Thank you very much. Okay, final plat application 130-2023 for Woodland Crossing South third plat.
Okay, this is final plat for Woodland Crossing South Third, located at 207th and Woodland Road. This is basically just their detention area, 2 tracks. It's about 4.8 acres. Let's see here. The plat was sent out to city staff and our city engineer. The review comments have been addressed by the applicant. The city engineer has recommended approval with the condition that this final plat for Woodland Crossing South, second plat, is recorded prior to this plat, which the applicant is fully aware of. So Woodland Crossing South, as I said earlier, third plat contains 2 tracks for the detention area only. Staff recommends approval of Woodland Crossing South third plat.
And it's only there's no lots with this, it's just the,
It's just the detention area, yep.
So how does this relate to the recommendation that the second plot be approved? Have we done that? Not done
It has not, you guys, I believe, have seen it. It has not been through city council approval. I believe it's still in design mode at this time. So,
They had to do this to meet the requirements for that plat. That's why it's on the council. So they go together.
okay.
any discussion?
No, I think that answered my question.
Okay,
I don't know what it means, detention area only.
So it's a tract of land that's gonna, for the stormwater detention,
Okay.
you know, and it's just for that tract, just storm. So it doesn't really cover the engineering grading or anything, it just meets and bounds of that tract.
So it's this piece that we're looking at? Okay.
So this is a real good example of when we say that there could be possible additional easements and maybe some moving of closure and things like that. Because all of the water lines, sewer lines, and all the infrastructure is not always completely drawn when it comes to this body. So this is an example where the stormwater needed to be adjusted some, and that's why this came forth.
Thank you.
To be honest, I wouldn't know why I would reject it. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to say yes to or no to with this. Like, do we know? I mean, or we just trust that, okay, I suppose it looks good.
Yeah, no,
mean-
what you're looking at is the plat of it, and did it meet the intent of the preliminary plat? Because, like I said, this has to be done
Uh-huh.
to be able to, correctly detain and drain out the stormwater for that. So,
So it's like,
if you,
does this reflect that?
Okay, gotcha.
It looks like.
It's just kind of unusual that it doesn't have any plots.
Right, it's not
Any-
common.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
we normally actually see,
Lots.
yeah, lots and stuff.
Something new every time, so.
Entertain a motion? Unless there's more questions or discussion.
I move approval of application of plat 0001330-2023, final plat of Woodland Crossing South.
Second.
Third,
So the final application plat for the third plat
yes.
with the recommended conditions?
Conditions.
Okay.
Staff.
Still want to second it?
Yes, second.
All right. Start the voting on the left.
Aye.
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 Motion carries 6-0-0. All right, moving on to item number 5, final plat application 132-2023, Cummins Property 7 plat.
Okay, this is located at the southwest corner of 185th Terrace in Webster. It's about 8.3 acres of general industrial M1. It's one lot and one tract of land. And the applicant and their reps are here tonight, if you have any questions for them. Doug with Phelps Engineering on behalf of Storewood LLC has submitted a final plat, Cummins Property 7th, containing 8.35 acres of M1 zoned property located at the southwest corner of 185th and Webster. The proposed final plat would create one lot and one tract plat. The proposed, our staff comments, the proposed final plat divides the existing 8.3 acre tract lot, or creating one lot and one tract plat. The zoning district M1 has no minimum lot dimensions, therefore the lot is sufficient in size. This development will need a water main extension around the cul-de-sac loop. Sanitary sewer extension plans are being reviewed by the city engineer. Street storm water removal will be submitted and reviewed with the street plans and a site plan. This lot is subject to 10 cents per square foot for a park impact fee. The excise tax will be calculated and paid before final plat approval. If an improvement agreement is required, it will be prepared and signed before the final plat is placed with the city council agenda. Installation of sidewalks along the street will be addressed with individual site plans. And some of the city engineer comments dated November 13 still need to be addressed, and they will be prior to final platting approval with the city council. Staff does recommend approval of final plat 132-2023 Cummins Property 7th as presented.
Any questions?
I move we recommend approval for plat 132-2023 as presented.
Second it.
been moved and seconded to approve the final plat application 132/2023, and that was with the recommendations from staff, is that correct?
Yep, as presented, yep.
Any other discussion before we start?
What is this? What is store what?
That's the owner of that piece of property.
What's it? What is it?
What is it gonna be?
Yeah.
I believe, storage. But, no.
No, that'll be on the next site.
Oh, that's right.
The use of it.
The use will be on the next
Yeah, it's just
item,
flat.
agenda item.
Do you have a sense of what the city engineer's comments were? That needed to be addressed?
Yeah, I can get them. Sorry, I didn't have that ready.
It's extension of the sewer.
Is it, okay, extension of the sewer. Do you remember what else, Pat? Okay.
It's just, yeah, Doug could speak to.
Doug too.
Oh, Doug probably remembers.
Good evening, Doug Evelyn, Phelps Engineering. Comments from the city were on there's public storm that runs through the site, so we'll have a separate set of public storm sewer plans. We're bringing north to south through there to carry the water through the site. There was other site plan comments, stormwater management comments, just kind of typical comments we get. I don't know, offhand, I can't think of anything out of the ordinary, just typical stuff.
All sewer related.
All storm sewer and,
And then sanitary.
yeah. There was some sanitary service. There's a sanitary main already through the property. There was a couple comments on the service lines to the different buildings, but. And some plat comments. The plat, the comments I just talked about are really on the next application. The comments for this on the plat were really just down to kind of easements and those kind of items that correlate with the improvements going on the site.
Thank you.
That's all I had.
Okay. So was the sanitary sewer gonna run around, I don't see it on here, was it gonna be on the north side or the south side of the cul-de-sac?
It's already installed.
Oh,
It's already installed.
The sanitary, you see that the easement running north-south through the middle of the page there is actually the existing sanitary sewer main.
Okay,
So all the buildings for this development will be served off of that sanitary sewer main right there.
cause I have two on mine instead of just one, so that's why.
What are you looking at?
If you have a more up-to-date version, it may have the drainage easement for the public storm through there. There's also a public drainage easement that's running through the middle of the site.
Okay, that's why I was trying to figure
Yeah.
out. I've got extra lines running through there and I wanna make sure I understood what they all were.
Yeah.
And where was the water main gonna run at?
It'll be all around the cul-de-sac on the east side. There won't be a water main through the site. It'll just be a private service
Okay.
line that's fed off the main in the cul-de-sac.
And you said that that's gonna be on the east side of it?
Yeah, I think the water main wraps around the end of the cul-de-sac.
That dotted line.
The dotted line. Does the 30-foot BL?
No, that's a build line.
I.
There's a 10-foot, there's a
There's
utility
I see the
easement
utility
that,
easement. I just don't see the water line.
yeah, it wouldn't be on
Okay,
the utilities aren't on the plat, it's the easements.
right. It was more just a kind of a
Yeah,
question of where it was located at, so that's why I was just trying to figure out where it was at.
yeah.
I have no further question. All right, we have a motion to approve. It's been seconded. Start the voting on the left.
Aye.
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 Motion carries 6-0-0. All right, moving on to item 6, Cummins Property 7th, for the site plan application, which is what you were asking about.
Yes.
Debbie.
So this is the property that we just discussed. This is a site plan for it. Staff has reviewed the site plan. All lot lines and right-of-way are identified. All proposed structures are identified until building permit stage. All parking and traffic areas have been identified. A sidewalk will be required along the cul-de-sac. A retaining wall runs along the southern portion of the property. Let me get that up there. Do you want me to go through the standards of review? Okay. That says no. The site plan does indicate 213 parking stalls. Our code does only require 178. Park fee will be due at the time of issuing the building permit. The dumpster area does need to be identified with screening and fencing. And then the city engineer comments that we discussed from his review of November 13th will be addressed. And there are fire department comments, I believe, that will be addressed as well. Water plans. Staff does recommend approval of site plan 133-2023 for Cummins property, the 7th plat.
Is this, site gonna be secured by fencing of sorts or anything? No. Okay. And then the landscaping on the west side adjacent to 169, is it pretty consistent with the, development north and south of it for consistency?
I believe so. Isn't it?
It's close, but they're, all along 169, staff is gonna have to go through that with the property owners and reevaluate that.
Okay.
Try and work on, I know you can see that some of it just hasn't come on and some of it isn't
Yeah.
consistent and things like that. And that's something that, staff will have to work on also, in conjunction with the comp plan and changing some of those landscape requirements to more make it consistent. Because as it is now, you know, they can go in there and plant all kinds of different trees. But I did talk to Russell Davis the other day. He's the one that just has the one storage building there. It's green, I think. So we'll go through there and get something better on consistency.
Thank you.
It's really hard to enforce right now, the way our codes and all are
Right.
written.
By chance, would any of these parking spots be moving towards the future to be electric?
Any electric?
No plans for it right now.
Doug, and it's above ground detention?
Yeah, it's above ground.
Okay. And it's detention, not retention?
Yes, it's a dry detention pond.
Okay. Any exterior, I'm looking, but any exterior, trash enclosure or anything that is gonna be screened or needs to be screened, or is there dumpsters somewhere here?
The dumpster area will need to be, yeah.
Yeah, that was part of the comments, so,
I was gonna say, I read that somewhere.
so they were up in the, kind of the northwest corner, northeast corner. There'll be enclosed trash enclosures,
They'll be screened?
screened,
Okay.
and there'll be a third one in the kind of southwest corner, so kind of the three quadrants where the buildings are, each one will have its own trash enclosure.
Thank you. I got no further questions.
There's a lot to look at.
I still don't understand what this is. It's just a storage unit or storage spaces
Store
for,
what is it? Yeah.
sorry, what?
I think it's called store what, right? So it's,
But what,
That's,
what is gonna be stored there? Is it
I don't know if it is.
storage units or, I'm not sure what I'm looking at.
These will have storefronts with them, so there might be a small business in in these, and then the bigger building will have two tenants.
Okay,
One of them, kind of the driver behind this, is a flooring store, so have some, storefront area, and then some storage in the back for all the materials, and the other half of the building's not spoke for yet, but
so it'll be like little suites for lease?
yes,
Okay, so it might be a hair salon.
sure, yep.
Okay.
Sure.
Well, I mean,
So-
I'm
No,
just,
I'm laughing, it's sure.
okay.
You get your flooring and your hair done.
Thank you.
Sorry, I'm still looking through all this.
I move that we recommend approval to the city council for site plan 133-2023 as presented.
second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve SP 133-2023 for approval. Start the voting on the left.
Aye.
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 Motion carries 6-0-0. Alright, moving on to item 7, site plan application SP 139-2023 Spring Hill Travel Plaza. I believe we have a revised,
Yep, you all should have a revised, site plan. The revision on it, some of it is the entrances, so the one that was closest to the highway has been moved to the east to get further away from highway. And then they redid the second entrance, to show, it looks like just a right in, and they made it wider than what was previously shown. So this is, off 183rd and 169 Highway on the east side. It's about 16 acres of M1, industrial zoned. The applicant has submitted a request for approval of site plan located on the southeast corner of 183rd and 169. The project consists of a stormwater detention basin with connecting piping, 3 access points, outdoor picnic, dog park area, fencing, and lighting. Staff has reviewed per our section of the code 17.340. There is one comment that we included, from Water One, a water main extension. I'm sorry, the 8-inch water main along the west side of the property will need to be retired. This will be done at the landowner's expense by entering into a memo contract with Water One. Work will be performed by Water One crews. This property is in a benefit district or benefit area. So they would need to contact Water One. Further, due to the age and material of the water main on 183rd, the city would suggest that the developer work with Water One to install inline valves on the existing main on either side of their water service for water redundancy to the building. Then you go into our standard review comments. They are still working on their traffic study, we will have that prior to final approval. Some of those comments have been included, I believe, in their site plan. A landscape plan is in design. If you have any comments, on that, we'll be more than happy to hear those and make note of them. Anything else that I'm missing, Pat?
We'll just need some details on the trash.
Oh, yeah, and trash enclosure.
Details.
Yep. But staff does, recommend approval of this site plan, 139-2023 for the Spring Hill Travel Plaza.
So looking at the revised plans, the truck entrance is just gonna be a right entrance off of 183rd Street now, and then they'll exit out onto Webster Street and then go up to 183rd to go out.
Correct.
Okay. As opposed to what the original plan was, which was two.
It was a right in, right out on the other one.
I moved it farther towards Webster too.
Now, once they do the traffic study, my concern was, one, I think 183rd just got redone in that area. And will this require other lanes?
Yeah, it'll require another lane, against 183rd Street. And really, the traffic study, you know, we usually have those ready and all this, but there's KDOT's involved. That's all I gotta say about it. So, and staff continues to meet with KDOT, next week, another meeting with KDOT, to try and work out all the details of that. But yes, there is additional width will be going in there. I think it actually shows it on that plan, doesn't it?
It was hard to tell.
Additional
Yeah,
width?
you can see that just a little bit of additional width there is required. It was something that's on our report. And one of the things I wanted to bring up, I know it's kind of hard to swallow sometimes when there is not a landscape plan. We will present a landscape plan to you, but at this time, there could be a couple of pad sites that will be in conjunction with this. So in doing the landscape plan, they're trying to make it all uniform. So hopefully, we'll have another site plan type design with some buildings on those pad sites. And then we'll also have a preliminary and a final plat coming eventually. The reason that it's not is you take a pad site and they may need just 25 foot extra to make everything work for them, or they may not need the 25 foot. So that's what they're doing. They're gonna preliminary plat it and then they'll final plat it, just what we are doing on Cummins, yes, thank you. So, those are the comments I had.
What is, they took out parking spots, I'm not taking, that's parking spots, to the right towards Webster of the truck scales. Is that like overnight parking or for trucks?
Oh, or the diagonal,
Yeah, those diagonals,
yeah.
what is that?
What, can you show me where?
right here.
Oh, I don't have that.
That's on the old one. This is the old
Yeah, that's just some additional truck parking there. Yeah,
one that they removed.
yeah, a lot of them will
Go-
be,
Go with the trucks.
yeah, a lot of them will be overnight.
I know that we do have an issue with overnight parking in our area.
Yeah.
For the trucks, going down to the industrial, down to Lincoln Street and things. So is that going to be, is this what, trying to relieve some of that pressure on that?
I'm sure that they hope so, you know, with the amount of parking spaces that are designed there, hopefully it will alleviate a lot of that, as well as what you see right there by Quick Trip. You know, the hardest thing about this on those overnight where they park on the streets and all is they have a real good tendency to find the mud and drag the mud out. So we're hoping that this will alleviate some of that. And then we're working with landowners, matter of fact, one of them is here tonight, on extending Webster all the way to 191st, crossing that creek with a bridge. And then that would also in turn connect all the way to 199th, because that street's almost completed. So it would be really nice to have Webster go from 183rd all the way to 199th, and then trucks from that area can just use it like a frontage road. So hopefully we can get that accomplished here real soon.
Is Webster slated to handle that kind of traffic?
Yeah, it's a major collector.
Okay.
Well, obviously, I mean, you have all the industrial down through there, but yes.
So Pat,
I just don't want another Lincoln
I
Street.
was just, you're reading my mind.
Well, I
don't
can't
want
guarantee
Lincoln
that, you guys, cause, you know, that is definitely up to the engineering and public works departments.
Well, but I think that if we start with a better base.
Oh, definitely, sure, you bet.
And prior knowledge of what we've already been through ought to help
We would hope so.
encourage that.
Yeah, we would hope so. Yes, Josh?
so this is going to come back in front of us as a preliminary plat, or I was a little confused with.
Right, so, I don't know if it'll be next meeting, but here before long, we'll have a preliminary and final plat of it. Right now, it's just one big site plan.
But these are going to be broken into individual, like pad plat. I mean, how is that
That's correct.
segmented? Where's the break line?
There won't, you don't see it now yet.
Okay.
And that's what I was saying, let's take the southwest, or the northwest, I'm sorry, the northwest. And the way it's drawn now on that pad, well, they may need, like I said, 50, 25 foot, whatever, to make those building lines. And so that's what they're gonna try and do, accommodate with a preliminary and final plat. And I'm sure there'll be more adjustments, but, you know, right now it's just one big site plan.
So I guess my concern is with being on 169, and obviously KDOT's involved with that, is turning left
Yeah,
across
there's
traffic.
absolutely nothing that we can say, do, yay, nay, or anything else. We are working with KDOT to resolve something there at this time. If you do look, you see how their northwest corner, and you see how it has the slant there. So it is set up for what KDOT had envisioned on a lot of this. So they did do that. And then also that pad site, you know, there's quite a bit of room there where you could lose is that a dog park?
Yes.
You could slide that over some and gain a little bit more. So we'll, hopefully, well, Spencer, I hope, will find out something here before too long from KDOT. But no, so they are working with KDOT on it. We've been to several meetings on it. And it's not just this intersection, it's all the intersections to try and that's what we're also looking at, taking Webster clear through and have a frontage road type scenario. God, I hate to say this, but I'm going to. And maybe not have a signalization at every single intersection, but eliminate the center turn. Let's say 191st. I'll just use it for an example. I don't know. Eliminate that, have it so that it still works good, and then Webster can be used as connecting the different streets.
I'm just worried about a big truck coming out and turning left across 169, going back south again.
Yeah,
That-
you have it now.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't like it now either.
No, I understand, yeah. And, you know, this isn't, and I'm not criticizing anyone or all, but, you know, 2005 and 6 and 7 is when the K7 corridor was drawn. So, you know, there hasn't been any action for all those years, and now, you know, we're pushing on it, and so. And to be honest with you, they're working on a lot of stuff right now with the railroad. try and, do something like 223rd. Things like that, so. And it would be really, well, it's advantageous for the city administrator and public works and engineering and all to try and make all these intersections as safe as they can anyway. And the only way that that's gonna happen is work through KDOT.
Well, I do like the fact that there's lots of parking spots.
Yes.
So I do know that that is it's a big issue, and we have not been able to address it anywhere else.
When it says that there's 81 spots for trucks, are we, I know, and I'm jumping ahead here, but are we gonna, I just keep thinking we're gonna really have a lot of traffic up there with that. Are we gonna identify those to where not anything truck could park in there? And that they're gonna be mandated for?
I don't know, well, I guess I'm lost on the question, Cindy.
Look, it says 81 trucks. I'm just clarifying that, and I know that's not, I'm just thinking ahead. But we can clarify and
Oh, well,
signage, and so that we don't have anybody and everybody using what's intended for
trucks,
this.
right, no, the cars won't be allowed to park there, and then
But
one.
I can see, go back to my farm life, I can see a truck coming through with a trailer on it that's got livestock, and we're gonna park there overnight. And that's not what it's intended for, so.
Right, so we'll have to leave that up to the, owner to work on that,
I
but
know I'm ahead.
most, I see these truck stops everywhere, you know, and I'm work with one real close right now. And the trucks pull in. One thing that a lot of people don't understand is they're only allowed to drive so long.
Right,
And some of those trucks are actually with the technology on them, you have to get to a place and park or it idles down.
yeah.
Yeah, and dings them, but it actually idles down. So I think you'll just see mostly semis in here and all. Yeah, there's very little problems at, let's just use Wellsville
Right, right.
or Gardner. Very little problems with that. I mean, the police will have to patrol a little more, you know,
Well,
because.
right, but that's what I'm saying, and I know I'm ahead of the game, but can make sure that we're thinking, and we've got the signage so that
That would
Right,
be-
and we have the comments from the
taken care of.
police department also, they're very well aware of it, and, I would imagine gearing towards something with it, so.
Not that I've not needed a large spot for a trailer behind my truck, but.
Yeah, no, I get it. Well, Lincoln should be kinda open now.
I'll make sure that we, head that direction. Just bring it and park it in the cul-de-sac.
There you go.
So looking at this, is there gonna, it looks like the road is gonna be, use up all the right of way on the north side of 183rd Street, or the south side of 183rd Street, down to the right of way if we're gonna add another lane in there.
Yes.
So is there a utility easement along there?
Well, the right of way, you're not gonna use all that up. I mean, you'll have probably a 12-foot lane in there.
It's hard to tell with.
Yeah, exactly, but you won't use all that up, and most of all the utilities and all will be on Webster. I know that they are talking in the water department about maybe some utilization, extending main or bringing it larger or something like that, so, but we don't deal with Water One, and they have to do their own, along with the fire department, so.
I was more concerned about communications and
Right,
all those
yeah.
things.
Well, everyone gets it, and we received the reports back from everyone, so. But yes, you're correct. It is nice, though, you know, they have some outdoor stuff also, because, you know, I know that, firsthand, a truck stop that actually had to take their detention basin and make it into, because a lot of these trucks ride with animals.
So they ride-
You know. Exactly. So, well, and then if you're traveling and you have a lap dog or whatever, So that is a nice, and that's expensive real estate.
Well, I was
So-
just thinking in my head, to have the outdoor picnic area, they get tired of
Exactly.
the truck. I mean,
Exactly.
It's got good weather. You can't-
So that is a real plus and you can see that they're trying to accommodate, not just throw one in and do it. And if you looked, had a chance, I hope, to look at the elevations, they're very nice. It's just a nice feature. I think it'll be really nice there.
I just, I guess maybe wanna make a comment with knowing it's like a privately owned place. I just hope that it stays like it's, maintained or something that's more like a Buc-ee's or Quick Trip or something where there's really high standards and that it doesn't turn into an eyesore.
The good thing is, well, there's good and bad to it, but one of the good things is these things are very, 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 very expensive now to build. So, and then the owners of this, they have several. So they know really what it takes. And I do agree with you, power washing and things like that. And I believe, just talking to them, I think that they'll do a good job on that. But I do agree with your concerns on that.
All right, any other questions, comments, discussion? Like I said, there's a lot to take in.
Oh, yes.
You put a lot on this.
Serious.
I mean, this is really huge compared to like across the street where Heritage Animal is, and that's just such a tiny little building, and then I think this big sprawling property.
Yes, and, this, obviously, get rid of the trucks to try and make them so they're not parking on the streets and all. But, the revenue will greatly help the city. What I know from other truck stops and other areas is they're very good revenue. So, we're excited about that. We're also excited that, I hope that we can, finally get a hotel.
A hotel?
I hope, so. Those pad sites are set up good that one could go there. And then also maybe some, convenience food that we really need here. The community needs it.
Well, it looks like that's what they're thinking, cause they have a drive-through.
That's correct.
So where's the next nearest truck stop? We've got one on I-35.
There.
If you're heading
Not
south,
151st Street, but down south.
south, I'm not sure, you could probably get some fuel at Paola, but it wouldn't be easy. But, the next one would be where, on the south side of Garnett, you're exactly correct, where it ties into, it has the new or a roundabout right
Right.
there. That would probably be the next one.
On 169.
Mm-hmm.
Which isn't real big. I mean, I would even consider
No, it's
Quick
not.
Trip closer, but I hope this takes some of the traffic from Quick Trip.
And that one at Garnett,
Mm-hmm.
it has a hotel motel outside too, doesn't it?
No, that's Chanute area.
No,
That,
that's not where I'm thinking.
okay, I don't remember it one at Garnett, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Well, no, it's been a
It
while
could be,
since,
yeah.
I just remember going past one when we're going down to Gridley. And it seems like there's
Oh, maybe there is.
a strip there, a smaller,
Could be. It's been a while since I've been down through there.
I like it. It's zoned M1 industrial, so I like it versus, some massive
I
industrial.
agree, and it keeps the traffic to close to 169, so you're not pulling all those cars too deep into our roads.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's a great addition to Spring Hill.
The other good thing is, you know that they're not gonna go east.
Right.
Right.
They don't wanna mess with the roads, and they do not wanna mess with the railroad track, so. Your comment of keeping them 169 and close, you're exactly correct.
Also like connecting
That
that,
shooting them down south, like we talked about 3 months ago or whatever it was.
well, I also like running Webster all the way
Yes.
up, right? Connecting all that. That's what they need to be doing, right?
Keep in mind to please attend a council meeting and support community development on that, so. Because that's what we're trying to get through. And the property owners down through there, and the maybe future property owners are really trying to help us out on that too. I mean, we have numbers and everything already, so.
You know, I do, is it gonna be 24 hours open?
You know, I
It's a
don't know.
travel
Curtis, do you happen?
I would imagine, huh? I'm surprised that we don't see some of the folks
24 hours.
who came to one of the last meetings about, how the cement, that building was causing so much, issue. Cause I imagine trucks coming in there,
Sure.
jake brakes and stuff like that are
Yeah,
gonna make
and
noise.
so you've kind of answered your own question on a lot of the stuff that we've been trying to say. Where, you know, they're in the county and, never saw them when the cement place was going in, but when it's in your backyard, because that's what was proposed, you know, there was some industrial proposed in, right behind them. But you're correct, I mean, so it kind of tells you what happens.
Well,
That it's easy, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, I believe they've changed the lighting on the concrete plant because it's not near as bright as it used to be.
Right, and I tried, I tried to explain that it was still under construction.
Right.
You know, so they do have most of the permanent lighting up now. There are some interior, areas there, but, yeah, you know, I'll just say, you know, a lot of times that everyone comes up, but I wish we'd see people all the time. You know, and it's easy to just come once in a while and throw things around, so.
When would this go to council?
The 25th.
25th,
Oh, of January?
oh yes. Construction will start on the 26th.
That was a joke.
No, it's not.
No, it wasn't.
So if we're planning on, maybe we should let Amy know in case there was enough that showed.
Showing up at the meeting, yes, please.
We'll go ahead and post it.
My last comment is we definitely need the revenues from this.
Any other discussion or somebody ready to make a motion? I'm not pushing that, by the way, I'm just,
Come on,
Do need a
push
motion
it.
of some sort.
at some point I have to, one way or the other.
I move that we recommend approval of city council for Z 140-2023 as presented by staff with the revised map that we had tonight.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve site plan 139-2023 as presented by staff with the revised plan. Start the voting on the left.
Aye.
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 Motion carries 6-0-0. All right, moving on to.
Thank you.
Item number 8, thank you for public hearing for rezoning of RR to R1. Anytime we have a public hearing, we have to open the public hearing, then go ahead and open it now. And any commission members need to describe if they have any ex parte communication. Anybody need to reveal or describe that? Okay. Any conflicts of interest?
No.
Alrighty. And now we'll do staff reports.
Okay, this is for the property that came before you as a planned zoning couple months ago. This is the southwest corner of 207th and Ridgeview. They are coming back with straight zoning. This one is from RR to R1. It's about 69 acres. It'd be obvious single-family homes. The property is currently zoned RR, rural residential, with requested zoning to R1, single-family, for the purpose of constructing single-family homes. We went through all the Golden versus City of Overland Park. Do you want me to go through all 12 of those?
No.
We really like.
Do I need to?
Talk.
No,
Okay.
We're not gonna
if you
force
have
you.
questions.
Okay, if you have questions, yes, please. Staff does recommend approval of the rezoning R1.
I think the only question I have is, why is it requested to be R1 instead of the planned residential where you can have smaller lots? Is there a particular reason behind it, or?
It meets the
We
R1.
also can't, screen anything on R1?
Right, so, yeah,
Good question.
remember last meeting that I wasn't here?
Yeah, I mean,
So this kind of explains it to you. Our comp plan shows that this is for a residential use. This R1 is just straight zoning, meets all the requirements, and you are correct, then they can go back and place houses on them. So, because obviously they didn't make it, something was wrong with the plan district. So, they're coming back with, you know how I am, I'll just tell you guys straight.
Yeah.
So now they're coming back with a zoning that meets all restriction, all of our guidelines, everything. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I apologize, I missed the November.
No, well, I did too. I just read it and looked at it and all that, but, what it was a planned district.
Yeah, they were coming in with an RP2 to build single families in that part of it.
Oh, they wanted to blanket RP2 for the whole thing, even?
Yeah, but in
Single
the
family.
southern portion, it would be single family homes.
And they had spelled that out and all.
They spelled it out in the zoning map and all that.
Okay, well,
So there you
It-
good question, they have to have a lot size bigger on R1 than RP1.
Yeah.
That's correct, yeah.
Okay, it's just that they don't come in front of us for any site plan, right?
I think it's interesting because there was a site plan. I mean, the last time it,
Yep,
uh-huh.
Oh, and the,
for a plan, there
Right,
was.
Yeah.
because it was planned. So we passed part of that as RP.
You did pass you did pass this section of it.
So,
But
so if we passed it, then it should be zoned RP2, or did not, that not
No.
continue
City
on?
council.
it did not go on
Not
to city
continue
council.
on.
oh,
Oh,
now I.
So they're
Yeah,
gonna,
sorry,
Pat, would you-
sorry,
no, it does not continue, Amy, go ahead.
Or-
It did not continue on.
yeah,
Okay.
it did
And
not,
then
I'm sorry.
to go back, and straight zone it with little larger lots and I think that there was a lot of disagreement on some of it, and that's where I keep saying, we really need to look at these. If you want better control, then let's work with these planned districts, because with very little effort and, it's almost impossible to turn this down. Cause they're coming in with straight zoning, and it's exactly what our comp plan says and the whole 9 yards, so.
Yep. No, thanks for clearing that up.
Sorry,
I
I
was just
should've mentioned
confused.
they did
Part of
not.
it's because I'm,
Yeah, sorry.
okay, and so now we understand, I think.
I guess I still don't agree with that, Pat, I respectfully, but I just think that we sit here for a reason, and it's to be able to say yes or no. And not just that, well, it meets all the requirements, so yes, but we're supposed to, make that yes because it's what's best for the community too. So, that's how I feel about this. If you don't need me, they meet the qualifications, then we don't need to be here.
No, so it's you all's job to decide if they meet the qualifications, but it's not as simple as is it good for the community? Because that's too vague
Sure,
to run it by. 'Cause
yeah,
if we were just saying what's best for the community, we would be getting sued left and right and no one would build anything. So it's your job, and if you want to go through point by point on the factors, and it's not just the golden factors, this is city code, and I can get into a kind of difference, but there's 12 things to look at. I mean, if you want to walk through them and say, here's the things I think are satisfied or not satisfied, here's what's especially concerning to me, this is your chance to do that. Staff isn't telling you, we looked at it, it's good, you don't look at it. What staff is telling you is that it approves, and that is specifically one of the factors, which is, I want to say 8, but it's not 8. What's in there? One of the factors is staff approval for it. So that just tells you that we've satisfied one. But look through the rest of them. No one's telling you how to vote. You all have that conversation.
Well, and part of it is for the RR, you can build single-family homes. They have to be 2 acres, I believe, the lots. So you go into R1, it's only, 9,000 square feet, is that right?
Right,
Yeah, and-
the requirements are a lot less.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Rarely do we see developers come in and want to develop out something as RR. They're going to change it to R something else. So
And this is more than golden. R12 is more than what?
correct. So the golden factors are what the Supreme Court said. Usually courts say you need to do this, you can't do that. And golden, they sort of said, hey, it'd be cool if you did these 8 things. We're not going to tell you you have to, but here's your starting point. And most cities went out and said, cool, we like these 8. We're going to add some more. Spring Hill took those 8, added 4 more that are unique to our community. So most cities are applying a similar analysis. The root of these 12 factors all come from the same Supreme Court case, though.
And it's not just the cities, it's the counties as well. The county planning commissioners and the counties are looking at. the
Right, when the county's rezoning, they do the same thing. But that golden case came out of people complaining that cities were just sort of taking a vague approach to rezoning and they weren't setting out what they were looking at. There wasn't a consistent criteria even within one city from applicant to applicant. So every applicant in Spring Hill has to satisfy these same 12 until, or if you change it.
so we have conversations all the time about how a straight up, I'm on the
Zoning,
R1,
right.
gives us no control over stuff.
Just a plain R.
Yeah, just our R1. Oh, RR?
Or
R-
R2,
The R1, not RP1. So they're asking for R1.
right,
Uh-huh.
but I'm just saying, not just R1, but an
R-
R2,
Yes.
Right.
but
So
without the P.
Anything not
So
planned.
this is how those houses got developed over on Flum, the 175th that
No.
Pat, because it was an R1, and so they decided just to put whatever they wanted.
really quick before you jump in, the lack of a P, the lack of a planned district doesn't mean we don't have control over what's happening. We still have a city code that sets out, here's what you can do in R1, and they're not gonna go any more intense than that. So they can go up to that line and not past it. And RP1 lets them set the line somewhere else in there, and it sticks them to that line. And R1 lets them just go within that line, but they both still have the same end point, which is you're not gonna go beyond here. Does that make sense?
Sort of, but they could bring manufactured homes in on an R1 versus an RP1, we get to say, no, you can't.
That's correct, and, just so you know, that is a planned district over there,
Golly.
yeah.
Okay.
Overland Park Planned District. But yes, you are correct, they could put, modular homes on here with foundations, and all that. But those homes that are being constructed over there, yes, would meet the criteria, as long as they're within the building setback box which is 35, 7, 7, 25. Back, I'm sorry, front 35. But yes, you are exactly correct, Davey.
So this is a public hearing, so I'm gonna move on to the next item,
Okay.
because we'll have time to discuss and debate after that. So the applicant or agent, gets to make a brief presentation. Try to keep this moving here now.
Good evening. Jake Vasha with SEH. I was here previous at a couple months ago and a few months ago prior to that to kind of discuss the development. Staff report kind of spells it all out, and being my third time here, I think you guys know what we're trying to do. So I'm here for any questions, and certainly think it'd be a good development. So
Okay,
all right.
thank you very much, appreciate it. All right. Sorry, I didn't ask, anybody have any questions for him?
I have a question. I don't know if he can answer. I don't know if anybody can answer, but what the intention of it is. I know that you'd said that the developer plans to maintain ownership of the homes, and there's, I don't know, I had heard something that it was gonna belong to a certain company that was gonna filter families in and out every 4 months or something.
So rezoning doesn't look into the ownership status of whatever buildings are built there. So they can rent out everyone, they can buy out everyone, they can rezone it R1 and then put one tent on it and call it a day. So I understand where you're coming from. Everybody thinks about that for their community, but that's not part of what we consider. That's outside of those 12
It
factors.
just makes this really difficult, because if it's, what some people are thinking it's going to be, there's a lot of concerns, I guess, then that come up for me on approving it.
The question that you're being asked though isn't to guess of what might go in there. Right now, we're rezoning it to R1 or leaving it at RR. And that's what you guys are being asked to do.
Here's something to consider too, the R1, the square foot has to be 9,000 for each lot. RP1, it's only 5,500 square foot per lot.
Okay.
So they're big lots, I can't see them putting, modular homes on a 9,000 square foot lot.
Right.
They could,
As I say, they could.
but it doesn't
And-
make any sense to me.
Well, there's a big difference between what we looked at as a modular home years ago versus what is out there today.
Yeah, right. Right.
And whether it's modular homes or not is not a factor on you guys.
Right.
Yeah.
I just-
And
No,
again,
my
I'm
comment was just
yeah.
around the size of the lot.
Yeah, no, I appreciate, I'm just reminding you all,
To stick within our.
yes,
purview.
stay with our 12 factors here.
Yeah, and my other comment is, future land use map is mixed use residential, and this is residential. It's a request by the landowner from RR to R1, so I think it meets the comprehensive plan and everything in it. It's just, like he said, it's hard to turn down, even though it's not RP1,
Well,
like what we like. Go ahead, Cindy. That's my only comment on that.
Okay, any other comments before we move on to the public comment? All right, now we'll open up to public comments. Anybody from the audience that has a comment that they would like to make, please come to the podium, state your name and address. And please keep it to within 5 minutes.
Oh, sure. Gina McBride, we own land at 18340 West 215th Street, so it backs up directly to this proposed residential area. I had really wanted to ask if the whole thing was going to be a rental, and apparently that's not in the roundhouse of what we can ask, but that is concerning because I look at that for the community at large. I don't think that large rental areas, they don't elevate a community, generally speaking. They bring in more transient populations, and people that are renting are not generally going to take care of their property like people that are owning. So just something to consider. But one thing that I did do is a little research on some of the other subdivisions going in the area, and Fox Hollow, which is directly across the street, is going to have 354 homes in it. And if you consider that there's probably 2 drivers per home, 3 drivers in some homes, possibly 1 in some, but you could be looking at potentially at least 700 drivers directly across the street at Ridgeview and 207th. Ridgeview is not a through street. Ridgeview is a 2-lane road, and I certainly hope that traffic studies are being done for this, because I think the amount of traffic from all of these subdivisions going in, there's also Garrett Ranch just a few blocks to the north, which is also very large. I spoke with the developer of that this morning. We're looking at a lot of traffic, and it's already treacherous several times a day at 175th and Ridgeview. people going back and forth. And I just, as someone who owns land that backs up to that, I have an investment in that, and just hope that we're looking at the community at large before we just approve all these things to go in. I hope that the traffic studies are being done and that things are being looked at. Because otherwise I think you could be creating a real hazard for people and a real traffic mess, on the regular for folks. Cause, it's not a major road, so. And just lots and lots of things going in, even though they're not there yet, they're all in process. So I just wanted to throw that out there. And I'm not sure if, once it's at R1, I mean, does the city have any say down the road then, whether things are rentals or not? Or is that just completely out of your hands and you have no control over that? So.
I can answer it, no control. Well, I mean, to a degree of, we can't tell people they can't rent their houses and all. No, we do have enforcement on it, smoke detectors and things like that. But you just don't have you can't do it, so.
Thank you, Gina.
Thank you.
Any other public comment? All right, then we'll move on to commission members ask for further clarification from applicant or staff. Any other clarification from during the public hearing portion of it? Then all right, we'll close the public hearing then. And now we can deliberate and have our discussion.
Yeah, I definitely, I understand Debbie's concerns here, but as it was stated earlier, it is rezoning, and as Steve pointed out, it does fit the future land use map. It is this landowner's prerogative to apply for this use as it fits our plan as a city. I don't think it's really the landowner's responsibility to take care of our streets. I think that falls on the city, so I don't think that should be a reason we deny this applicant for the city's responsibilities. That's all.
Yes, and remember, we will collect excise tax, and community development anticipates that excise tax should be used for road improvements. That was polite, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Any other deliberation?
I don't have any questions.
No questions, no deliberation? Just ready for a motion?
You closed it.
Yeah, we're past that.
I'm just double
Yes,
checking.
yes, it's closed.
Double checking.
It's reminding you.
I even got the gavel out and hit it.
It sounded great, it was a great thing.
Yeah, that was,
I move that we recommend approval of the rezoning application Z 140-2023 to city council.
Second it.
as presented by staff.
As presented by staff.
Okay, all right. It's been moved and seconded to start the voting on the left.
Aye.
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 I say nay.
Aye.
Okay. The only request would be that you would explain why you say nay.
Sure. I do think there's too many developments going in there at the same time, and having the roads are just, they're absolutely not prepared. And I know you guys have said before that we, can't say nay on that, but I live there, and, there's a subdivision going in, even Woodland Ridge is expanding, and there's the subdivision across the street, and there's Fox Hollow, and I can't even imagine trying to get kids to school, with all of this construction going on at the same time and all of these additional people in that area. I think it's gonna be a huge mess. I'm more for zoned planning and saying, let's do 2 or 3, a year or something, but not like 15. And I think at some point I thought we were supposed to have a comprehensive plan by now, and we don't. And it keeps on being said, well, it's gonna be next month, it's gonna be in 3 months, it'll be in March. We're gonna get to March and it's not gonna be done. And we're gonna sit here and have the same thing going on and saying, well, you know, we have to do it, we have to do it. I don't think we have to do it. I think we have to at some point take a step back and say, we're doing too many at once. This doesn't make sense. It's just gonna be a big fat mess, so that's my no.
All right, thank you very much. Motion carries 5-1. And moving on to public hearing item number 9, public hearing for rezoning 141-2023 RR to R2. And of course, this is public hearing again, so ask any commission members to reveal if they have any ex parte communication contacts.
Nope, no,
All right. And then any conflicts of interest?
nope, no.
And sorry, I need to open the public hearing. All right, staff report.
Yep, so this is the same piece of property, the northwestern part, RR to R2. This one also did come before you as an RP2. It was denied and they chose not to send it on to city council for approval, but come back with the R2 straight zoning. It's 57 acres. It meets all the golden factors. Again, if you have any specific questions, we can go through those. And let's see. It meets the comp plan, future land use. And staff does recommend approval of Z 141-2023 to R2, two-family residential.
Thank you. Do you have anything you'd like to say? Jake?
Nothing further, really.
Okay.
Here to answer any questions.
Just trying to check all the boxes here.
Yep, appreciate it.
Any clarification needed from staff or from the applicant? Any public comment for this portion of it? Ask you to repeat your name.
Sorry, Gina McBride, 18340 West 215th Street. Is it Jake? Is that? I just, last time that we came to the meeting, there was I don't know if you call it a site plan, but basically a drawing that kind of showed where things were going. And the total number of doors in the complex. Can you provide that? I'm just from a standpoint of increased traffic, increased bodies in the area. Do you remember, or do you know how many doors? Because I know, duplexes, a lot
Right.
more people versus single homes.
Again, so last time they had that because as a plan district, they have to come to us and rezone it to these buildings and these spots with these doors. When they go to the R1, R2, they don't have to come in and show how the lots are going to be divided. There's general estimates because we know how big the lots need to be, so they have to are capped at a certain number. But they could make all these 3-acre lots if they felt like it tomorrow. If suddenly there was a big boom and there was a big oil boom and everyone wanted big houses here, yeah, who knows?
On that, I have a question for you, Spencer. So for R2, so they don't have to come in front of us?
Excuse me, Steve. This is public comment. I know we kind of got sidetracked, but
No, that's fine.
But it's okay.
this was your opportunity to speak. so
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't wanna-
pay you
I mean,
short, so.
if you have, an inkling of how many duplexes we're planning on building, or how many single-family homes, or lots, I guess it'd be lots. Or 100 each.
Yeah.
Okay, and is that on the city count, Spring Hill? It'll be on the planning commission's website?
And it will show exactly how many, and probably in the next meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, so that,
Okay, thank you, Gina.
that was my question was, they have to, once it's rezoned, they still have to come with a site, the plat and final plat that shows the
Right.
plot, okay.
They will, yeah. And I can, if you want us to get further, we can. I don't want to take anyone else's chance to
Sorry,
publicly speak.
any other public comment? Sorry. Okay. Any other clarification from the commission members? All right, public hearing is closed. And opportunity for deliberation. If there is any.
If I remember correctly, last time we denied it or sent it back because we thought there shouldn't be duplexes in that area.
The motion was presented to deny the application,
Uh-huh.
and it was passed. For the
Now
RP2
it's
zone.
denied it.
Yes, it was approved to deny the application.
So
Okay.
it was denied.
Yes,
It was recommended for denial. It did not
sorry,
go
yeah,
on the
I
city
apologize.
council.
Yes, it was recommended.
They
for
withdrew
denial.
their application and came back with the straight.
So, since I missed that meeting, so is it the exact same acreage, 57 acres?
Yes.
Correct.
Denied when I was gone?
Yes.
Okay.
We denied to RP2 because we didn't think there should be multifamily housing there.
Well,
I think that
I
the
think it was-
discussion became whether the setbacks were correct as far as from the front of the house to the front of the garage and stuff like that, would
Right.
like that plan.
and garage,
If I remember correctly,
yeah, so the comp plan and so city code refers to the comp plan as far as how much of the front square footage a garage can take up on a duplex. And the proposed elevations were exceeded that, and then they exceeded how much the garage was going out beside the front door. So that was the recommendation for denial at that point, and, you know, the applicant, I think, is now well aware of that, so
that.
we'll check out what they bring to us.
Personally, that's why I voted to deny it, was because of those issues, so.
Yeah.
I see. So I'm looking at it right here. R2, the front setback is 35 feet, but for RP2, it's 25 feet.
So that was, yeah, it was partly the building setback, but the amount that the garages were extending past the front door and the proposed elevations of the houses, it just looked like two garages,
Oh, okay.
candidly, so, yeah, it was,
It does allow more footage on this.
Correct.
For the R2 versus the RP2.
right.
I can see it right here. The front setback's 20 for RP2. The front setback for R2 is 35 feet. The rear setback's 25 for R2, and it's 20 for RP2. Okay. That answers
Side yards,
my question, I guess.
side yards as well can be.
That's right. I think the square footage is the same. It's 4,500 for a duplex for RP2 and R2. So the square footage for the lot, plat is the same, but, or lot, sorry.
And future land use was mixed residential, correct?
Yeah. So, I mean, it does fit the comprehensive plan, and it is residential, mixed use.
That was why I was saying, the reason I voted to deny it was because of the specific plan, not because it was RP2.
It doesn't say in the meeting notes. The minutes, I know I was not here for the minutes, but for some reason, because we said approval,
We said denial.
denial.
Yeah.
I've
The
got
motion
you.
was
So
to
then,
deny.
okay, so I understand what you're saying now. Okay, so that's why our reasons for doing that are not listed.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
That's why I'm telling you why I voted
did.
for
Okay,
that last time was
I
because of
gotcha.
that.
okay.
So I guess, in my opinion, it's hard to turn this down, right? It's the comprehensive plan, it's rural residential originally, it's gonna be rezoned R2. They're gonna come back to us with the, initial plat and final plat. We can't see the site plan, though, there's no site plan for an R2.
No.
So it's thrown out.
Yep.
Yeah, I have no comment. Again, same as last time. It checks all the boxes per the comp plan and Stoner's right.
Rafael, you have any comments?
No. Same thing as you mentioned. I mean, I think it got all the boxes marked.
Cindy?
Ready?
Right? Okay. Would somebody like to make a motion then?
I'm trying here, getting the number, I lost my number.
141.
Item number 9.
Here we go. I move that we recommend approval to the governing body for the rezoning application Z 141-2023 as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve rezoning for 141-2023 from RR to R2. I'll start the voting on the left.
Aye.
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 Nay, for the same reasons as the last one. You're fine.
Motion carries 5-1-0 to approve, recommend approval. All right, moving on to item number 10, public hearing for rezoning PZD 123-2023 and plat 124-2023 from MP to RP4. And it is a public hearing, so I'll open the public hearing and ask the commission members if there's any ex parte communication that needs to be disclosed.
No.
Any conflicts of interest? Alrighty, staff report.
All right, this is rezoning and preliminary development plan, BZD 123-2023. For the rezoning, it is proposed from MP, which is Industrial Park, to RP4. It is the Wiswell property, east of 169 at Webster and 195th Terrace. They're proposing a rezoning of about 10.6 acres. It will be one lot. You can see the site's current zoning, future land use map to the north. It's vacant, but it's MP industrial. To the south, it's RR. Residential is what the future land use map shows. And to the east of that is an RP1. And it's existing land use is vacant, but on the future land use map, it shows residential. In the west, you have the highway. The applicant requested rezoning to MP in 2022. However, due to development needs, the applicant is now requesting rezoning to allow for construction of multifamily senior villas. The rezoning application is combined with the application for a preliminary development plan. For the rezoning, we go through the 12 golden factors. They do meet all of them. And if you don't have any questions on those, I can move into the preliminary development plan. There is one residential multifamily lot proposed on the 10.6 acres with 93 planned units. The applicant is applying for the plan zoning to reduce the minimum size, width, and building setbacks of the lots. The plan was sent out to city staff and consultants for a review. The review comments from government agencies, consultants, and utility providers have been implemented as applicable in the preliminary development plan. The applicant and their engineer have agreed to address any additional comments. The utility easements are shown with dimensions meeting minimum easement requirements for city. Again, additional easements may be required and addressed during the infrastructure construction design plans. The right-of-way and utility easements are shown with dimensions meeting the minimum requirements for the city and affected utility providers. Again, additional easements may be required at final development plan. A traffic impact notice will be required with construction documents at the first phase. And the city will provide sanitary sewer and the water to the subdivision. The attached site layout and building elevations have been reviewed. The RP4 area proposes lot size reductions from the minimum standards required for standard R4 developments. The comp plan recommends developments with reduced lot sizes and widths comply with minimum architectural standards. The RP4 areas propose building setback, reduction size, rear and front setbacks, and a typical lot diagram is provided on the development plan. The submitted building elevations are conceptual in nature, and they may change at the final development plan to include greater detail on the dwelling layout. Staff does recommend rezoning 123-2023 from MP to RP4, subject to the stated following conditions, which I can read if you would like.
Please.
The massing and use of exterior materials on small Multifamily buildings such as duplex, triplex, fourplex, etc. should be arranged to give the appearance of a large single-family dwelling to the extent possible. When such design is not practical, small multifamily buildings should be designed with appearance of individuality between dwelling units, including varied roof lines, varied colors, and an A10 City of Spring Hill comp plan, varied facade depths to create variety and individuality. Multifamily buildings should generally be limited to 2 stories in height for areas designed or designated on the future land use map as residential, while buildings of more than 3 stories in height should be directed to areas designated as mixed-use residential or commercial mixed use. All sides of multifamily buildings should display similar level of quality and architectural interest rather than limiting a majority of a building's architectural features and interest to a single facade. Building elevations oriented toward the street should be articulated through the use of bays, insets, balconies, porches, or stoops. A prominent front entry with a porch stoop should be provided on all facades facing the street, and any rear walls of multifamily buildings that back onto a perimeter street must be articulated with features similar to the front to avoid a rear appearance. Staff does recommend the approval of the preliminary development plat 124/2023. The applicant will pay a park fee when the building permit is issued, and improvement agreements must be signed, and excise tax, if any, will be paid prior to recording of the final plat. This will go on to City Council January 25th for final approval.
Thank you.
Can we ask questions now?
It says staff presents a report and comments regarding the case, then we go to applicant.
That's right.
Agent gets a chance to speak. Not here.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Then commissioners get to ask needed clarification from the applicant or agents. Then public comments. Any public comments? Seeing none, then the commissioners get to ask for further clarification. Now's your chance.
So this was rezoned MP
MP.
June 2022? I don't
Yes.
remember what was supposed to go there. Do you? Does anybody remember?
So it was zoned industrial.
But what was gonna go there? Does anybody?
Well, it was just zoned industrial because it's right next to 169.
Well, I can't remember what was planned there. There was some big.
They didn't
I don't
have
think we knew.
anything in mind.
Yeah, I
We
don't,
didn't know.
They were gonna put up
No,
some buildings.
at that time, we did not know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was just curious.
Okay, it-
Well, no, that's,
I thought there was gonna be
that
like
piece was rezoned.
a
That was part
Mexican
of the
restaurant.
school, part of the school piece, correct? So it was once a different one before we went to the MP. Now they're asking for another, right? Am I following this right on?
reducing the zone.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember what we did. I don't have any.
I don't
trouble.
think that we really ever knew what the MP was.
Right, okay. All right, that's all I had. I mean,
yeah, this did just come to us, right, not very long ago, yes.
okay.
But yeah, it was industrial plan, but there was no real, I don't remember it being, there wasn't really a plan with it.
I assume that these will be somewhat similar to what's at Blackhawk area
On the
On the,
private street. That
on
is
the
correct.
private street.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and all the details and all in here, what they're talking about is there could be some changes from stone to brick, but they will have those types of, facades and all on it. And then they also did, supply with the, building layouts and all, so, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I guess my concern is that you don't know what's gonna go in the, MP part of it. So, I mean, to me, you have senior type housing where there's easy access for the seniors to get services, either
Right.
groceries or you know, dental work or something.
Didn't
And
we
it's
just
just-
rezone everything north of this?
And that
Well,
could
nor-
go
well,
north.
north of it, it could be a
That's it.
diesel shop.
You're exactly correct, and if you
know.
look, that's why staff had asked for high intense screening there. But you are correct, and I think that when they went through and started doing some of this zoning and all, I think they were just a little off on thinking that it was more going to be more like office warehouse type stuff and all going along there. Well, the market changed saying, hey, we want to put multifamily or something up against there. But I see your point exactly. You know, the next door could be a grocery store or it could be a diesel truck
Yeah,
repair.
I mean, and I guess you can answer that, but I'm just concerned that you're gonna isolate these seniors
Right.
where they can't get to anything.
The good thing about having this as a planned district, the M plan, is that, you know, you can ask for much greater like berms and things of that nature. But yes, that is, yep. And we hope that more services will be up in that direction for everyone, you know.
Yeah, cause
But-
right now, the closest thing would be Quick Trip,
Yep.
up the hill, three-quarters of a mile.
But all of that Wiswell property is still yet
Or
to
more.
be determined for the most part.
Any of this, then that's what I was getting at. The commercial and industrial is yet to be determined. You know, they are getting ready to start, 50 houses, something like that in there, single families, so.
Where's the entrance? Will they enter off of,
Webster.
There's three,
okay, so they're not coming off of 169?
No.
Just entry that way, okay.
The new Webster. They have to go way back down there.
four of them.
That they're almost done.
Yeah, looks good.
Yeah, it does look good. Okay, so we're still in the we're still in the public hearing. So any other clarification that committee members need before I close the public hearing? I want to give everybody a chance to. Debbie? Do you have any more questions or anything?
Oh, I thought you meant the pub comment.
No, it's still a public hearing, but
Okay,
the
yeah.
public has had their opportunity and no one chose to speak.
Not necessarily, I would have one comment, and it just is having the senior housing that close to the highway, but, I don't know, I'm not a senior yet. But I could see where it could be easy, but at the same time, I think, I don't know, it might be nice if they were more interior and had a more quiet, place to reside, but, that's my thought. But I'm not gonna deny it for them. I just think that they might want to hear the birds instead of the cars.
Yeah, you know, and an optimistic way of looking at that too, going back to the comment about the roads, is that approving this and the density it is, you're introducing that traffic in here. If it was more interior of the city, you're introducing all that traffic further in, so by keeping it on the fringe and back to our road discussion, at least you're not keeping that traffic pulling it all the way through
Yeah.
Spring Hill.
I think seniors, and I think they're probably,
Sure.
I don't know. Maybe,
Right.
I'm just.
No,
old
I
school,
understand. No,
So,
it's a good comment.
Pat, what's the speed limit gonna be on that road? Webster in front of the, it'll be 35?
I would imagine it'd be 35.
Okay,
I don't believe it's been determined yet. I haven't heard anything yet, but I would imagine that it'll come out at being 35.
because if we're talking about those trucks that are being up there coming down,
Mm-hmm.
the first controlled intersection is gonna be at 199th Street.
Yep.
Yeah,
so they're gonna be.
No, so you'll have a controlled intersection at 191st.
Not getting on 169.
Oh, out on 169. No, you are correct.
Okay,
And hoping that we have that at 183rd, really.
right,
So, but you are correct about that.
okay. I'm just thinking,
No, it's-
we're talking about putting trucks up there and having them come down on a frontage road. This is the frontage road further south, so that's why I was trying to think through it.
I'm just regurgitating everything that Deb said about the seniors. The only positive I can come up with is we don't know what their definition of a senior is. I mean, it could, my in-laws live, my mother-in-law lives in a senior district in Oregon, and they tagged it at 55 and above.
I think it's 55 and above is a good assumption.
So,
You know,
I mean, it may not be.
one of the nice things about this, it is ground level.
No, she's
You
bringing
know.
up a great point. A lot of places do say 55 and older is considered a senior.
Yeah. Who knows what they-
So is this discussion really, is it part of the application?
No, but
Okay, I just don't wanna get hung up on
It's
something
nice
that
to-
they could change.
it's nice to chat about it, yes. One thing that I do see is on ground level.
Right.
You know, you go to some of them, I visited somebody not very long ago in Olathe, it's 4th floor, wheelchair. You know, so that is nice on this part anyway, and, well, I'll keep all my other comments.
This does not look though like it's assisted living. Okay.
And I just, thank you to Commissioner Earhart. We just had a talk about why we don't consider whether someone's renting or owning or what. Under a different set of rules, we also don't want to consider necessarily deciding zoning based on who's going to live there, especially age.
I
You know,
think if
because
they-
it's a
if they-
slippery
if they
slope.
declare it as being a senior living facility.
Correct,
then-
so you all,
that's the only
you
reason
know,
I think
talk
that's-
about the fact that it's a senior living facility, you're fine, but don't make your decision whether or not you want a certain subset of the population, in this case, seniors, to be there in this spot. Does that make sense? Cause then we get into issues
When
with
they bring it
familial
back, when
status.
they change from a senior, they're I mean, we're not approving senior versus
Right.
a childcare.
It could be a very Gen Z owner who says seniors 35 and up and
Right.
I'm coming in soon, so who knows?
They could
That's getting a
find
little,
out
that's
that
starting to hurt, I gotta
other
say.
senior housing would be available, and now they don't want to do that.
Right.
They could change it completely.
Here, my
Yes.
opinion is it's probably fine. It's only 10 acres. It's 95 units. The south and east are residential. The north is the only part that is industrial. It would probably be better for that area because I don't think they're gonna just throw a diesel truck store there.
So I'm not trying to interrupt you. If we're gonna start deliberation, I'm gonna close the public hearing.
Oh, sorry, I thought you.
So, okay, so unless there's more questions, then I'll
No.
close the public hearing, then we can deliberate.
How long ago was that industrial piece to the north zoned industrial?
It was.
2022.
2022.
2022 as well?
And we don't really know what.
And we were, at that point in time, we were post everything that was happening with that property, correct?
It was ongoing.
I'm sorry,
It was ongoing,
so it hadn't been finished.
not all.
Okay. Curious why we,
We did have a discussion about zoning at MP. I mean, there was, I recall having a discussion whether, and it was like, well, it's right beside the highway. They were talking about doing some sort of office buildings or something there and,
That's what I recall too.
yeah.
Where's the nearest housing development from us? Right across the street?
Yeah,
I mean, across the highway.
no,
No,
right,
it's
right across from Webster.
Oh, okay,
right here,
okay. And what is that?
single family.
Okay, that's not there yet.
It's RP1 if I remember right.
it's our
Yeah.
P one.
There's 50, that's what I was saying, they're already working on starting 50 houses over there.
Oh, okay.
And we had a discussion about the high density of that, as I recall, too. Cause it was a little bit higher than what we normally do.
Are we deliberating?
Yeah, it sounds like we are. So I'm gonna close the public hearing. Okay, now we can have deliberations.
So my thoughts on this is that we always struggle with RP4 multifamily here because of the community's presence. And we had a public hearing for multifamily with no opposition to it. And I feel like it's in the right area with adjacent zoning of single family across the street. You have multifamily north, you have some commercial to the south. I feel it's in the right location. We don't have opposition from the community. We always say if not here, then where. I feel like this is a good spot for it.
I agree
Well,
with Josh.
there's no
too.
opposition because nobody lives there.
Right, and I think to that note, if we come back here with single family, and then you're gonna have everyone, well, it's a lot easier when the multifamily's there and they choose to build next to the multifamily. So that's my point right here.
No, I totally agree with Josh, and it's only 10 acres, it's 95 units. They look reasonable to me. It's a reasonable spot for that kind of thing. It's kind of nice, it's a senior living.
It might be senior,
It might be, yeah.
no wage discrimination.
Yeah, and if it's not senior living, it just comes back as a multifamily unit.
Right.
Again,
Fine, too.
it was there prior to single family units coming in. And I think we need a need for this.
Sorry, with it being RP4,
We have to.
again, before he comes back in with a site plan.
Yeah.
It
That's
could be
right.
something other than senior.
Yeah.
Today's thought is a senior.
Right.
But because it's an RP4, at
Yeah.
site plan time, it could come back differently.
Right, and it's being a planned district, we like that, we deny it, comes back in R4 and we're to where we just were.
And I don't know if you guys looked at any of the elevations or anything, I thought it looked nice.
Yeah, I like
It's got all
the
rock
board
on
and bat
front.
above it, yeah, it looks
Yeah.
good.
I did too. Fine.
Just when you put in the site plan, they got the tornado stuff.
We'll get there. I haven't given up on those yet.
It's my second soapbox. Sidewalks are one.
Where's the sidewalk?
So not to change the subject, I actually went to a, conference thing and they were talking about where they can bring in those
Yeah,
and they're pre-made and they just bring them in when they're building the building and stuff.
good.
All steel.
Every slab should have it.
Yep, but yeah, they said they can slide them right in and it was pretty good.
I would have liked to see that.
Well, I'm sure I can get you the information. Anyway, not to change the subject, but that was,
I
on your
want to make a
soapbox there.
motion to approve, I move that we approve, oh my goodness. I move that we recommend to city council approval of PZD 123-2023
I second.
as presented.
been moved and seconded. I'll start the voting on the right.
Oh, aye. If
Aye.
you would have raised your
Aye.
eyebrows.
Aye.
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 You don't have to vote, you don't have to vote. You can vote again. Okay, all right, motion carries 6-0-0.
When the first senior gets hit by a tornado truck.
Sorry, that is not funny. That is not. Okay,
Kind of fun.
only if it's not your grandparents. Okay, reports, discussion, sorry.
Discussion. November 9th, city council meeting, the rezoning application, from the C2 to RP4 was denied by the city council. There was no meeting held at the end of November due to the holiday. There was no agenda items on the 14th of December, and the same with, December 21st.
Amy, which one was denied? The C2 to RP4? Which one was that?
That was the, suite 223rd.
123rd with the
okay.
apartments.
Price chopper.
That's when the single family was already established and we try to come back with multifamily.
Right.
So it's easier.
No, I remember it.
Now, you remember.
Spencer's happy you did.
So we were actually at discussion, not reports, but. kind
Oh,
of-
discussion, sorry,
It kind of went back and forth and so.
Yeah.
It was my fault. Any discussion on anything? Any other discussion that we would need to bring up? Pat, it's good to have you back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hope to stay.
We hope to see you more often now. I know that Amy's hoping to see you more.
She did a fine job.
Amy's done.
Yes, she did. Amy, you did a very fine job.
Hey, thank you. I don't like being up here.
I know, but you're getting more comfortable.
You did a great job.
Yes.
Thank you.
We're a hard group.
I do have a question. How many open seats are there?
There's 3 I was just getting ready to announce. If,
No,
ready?
go
Okay. So Mary Dobson had to resign her, county seat because she moved to Miami County.
Oh, gosh.
And Roger Welsh just today resigned his county seat with Miami County. And then we had the 1 vacant, so we have 3 open, vacancies. 2 of you are coming up February, end of your term. If you haven't seen something from the city clerk, you should.
Oh, they don't want me back.
So I told Amy today, I said, I haven't gotten.
You sure it's me? I don't think I've got it.
It is you. I think
Okay.
it's Cindy and.
It's probably my
and you.
stack of mail.
So yes, we have 3 vacancies. They have received some applications, and I think the mayor will be making his appointments in February.
I just want to throw out that if we have
Mark.
5 vacancies, we do not have a quorum.
That's right.
Gonna be tough.
Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, no, I know.
No one else can
With one of them
quit.
being Miami County, one of them being Johnson County, with them being the county seats, there is a harder time or less pool for Miami and Johnson County seats versus the city seats.
Well, did
So-
Mary go to Miami?
She moved to Miami County.
Now, was she going to apply for the Miami County position?
She has
done
applied
yet.
for, can I say that? She has applied for the vacancy,
Well,
the
but she
city
has- But she
seat.
has not gone through city council to get reapproved.
Yes, she
Okay.
has sent in her application
Okay.
to apply for the city seat.
I just wonder if we have to train somebody new or if we can get somebody with experience.
Hopefully not.
Okay.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with new people.
There's nothing wrong with new
Faces,
people.
fresh
You're not new
voices.
anymore. You're a veteran now.
I was gonna say.
Say, I think
Like, what's detention? Is the principal
It's
involved?
after school.
Nope, you're a veteran now. You're stuck.
Mark was based for this.
All right. Any other comments? When do we have, offices voted next? Does that come up in
Usually
March?
February, but it's
February?
not.
It's
I
usually
think
after
he's
people
gonna
come
do
up
it
for
in
the new
February,
spots.
so we'll probably have to put it on the March, agenda, would be my guess. I don't know when in February he's gonna do it. I mean, I don't know if it'll be
Okay.
the first or the second meeting.
Okay, I just know that's, I would just, I bring that up, that
Yep.
that's, so everybody be thinking about if you wanna run for a new
Yep.
position on the planning commission.
Got it done till April.
Anything else? Anybody wanna make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I second.
Been moved and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Happy New Year.
Yep, thank you all for coming.
Debbie, any more news that you can share?
All right. Thanks, buddy.
Any more?
Hey, thanks, Pat.
There's 3 public hearings.
Who seconded that?